What is going on? My name is Akasan, here for a little bit of Ask Akasan news. So it's come to my attention, and a lot of you guys have been asking me about this. Is Disney going to buy DC? More importantly, is Disney going to buy Warner Brothers? And that's a very strong possibility, actually. Yes, it is true that it is very, very possible for Disney to buy Warner Brothers, or at least buy DC Comics, or the properties and the IP. It's very, very possible. And I'll explain to you why that is. And this is all coming on the heels. This is all coming on the heels of the Discovery AT&T merger, not buyout, but merger that happened last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago, which was huge news, but people didn't really realize how big that was going to change things, because this is how it works, because a lot of us went into this thought process thinking that it was going to be very similar to the Disney Fox situation, which is far from the truth. AT&T first bought out Warner Brothers, or Time Warner, so long ago, right? And that's how we came into HBO Max and some other situations like that. That's how we got the Snyder Cut. Because, AT&T essentially didn't really know what they were doing in terms of taking this multi-million-dollar company, entertainment division, where their main focus is telecommunications. But they did see some sort of viable sort of benefit to absorbing. This is what all the companies are basically doing right now. These super companies are becoming mega super companies, like Super Saiyan God level type of things. Everybody's just kind of merging up right now because of many situations with business practices and how streaming has become the new thing, and Netflix being the champion of all that, which is crazy. For the last 4 or 5 years, believe it or not, Warner Brothers has actually been losing money. They actually haven't been, obviously they've been having hits kind of left and right here with Joker or Aquaman or whatever comes out. But in the scheme of things, Warner Brothers, the studio, has actually been losing money, and their stock has been getting tanking over the last 5 years. I wonder why. But because of a lot of not just certain directions with certain movies, but a lot of bad investments being made. We had Green Lantern as well. So when AT&T acquired Warner Brothers, they actually also, not only did they get the company, they also incurred a lot of debt. And that's one of the things that people were hoping AT&T could actually help pay off Warner Brothers' debt. But obviously they're not going to do anything like that for free. So what AT&T is doing by merging with Discovery, they're essentially bringing in Discovery, a company that knows about entertainment, which has a reach worldwide, that's going to essentially try to absorb bits and pieces of Warner Brothers, including DC Comics and their IP. And they're in the business of trying to repackage Warner Brothers to be viable to sell off again. So that's what this merger really means. AT&T and Discovery are basically just merging because Discovery has the ability to sort of repackage Warner Brothers into not sellable on their means. They're like whatever about it, but they're just working with AT&T to essentially make Warner Brothers sellable to another bidder in the next 3 to 4 years. That's where the whole situation comes to, is because there's only 3 companies right now that would even be in the talks, that would even consider buying Warner Brothers. And that's Netflix, who you know, what, 4 or 5 years ago, spent $8 billion, invested $8 billion in making their own original content. Netflix. Apple is another one, believe it or not. And of course, Disney. And so that's where it's very possible. These are the only 3 companies that are actually possible that could actually acquire Warner Brothers. And that's what AT&T is essentially hoping for. They're bringing in Discovery like, yo, please fix this sinking ship, make it better, make it stronger, and then we're going to sell it off so we can make a lot of money off of it. That's all. That's the business that they're into, because AT&T really doesn't have much of any interest in really running a movie studio right now. And so that's where it can really come down to, is within the next 4 to 5 years, Discovery might split up Warner Brothers in different situations. It's like, okay, so Apple, you want the Harry Potter franchise? You got it, like that. Marvel, Disney, you want the DC properties? You got it, like that. As scary as it sounds, that may be a very, very big situation. And my fear about all of this is the fact that Warner Brothers will cease to exist. Similar to the Fox merger, when Disney absorbed Fox, we won't really see it. They have the catalog, and this is really where I see it kind of getting messy. You're going to have the catalog, but you're not going to make anything new on its own. This is very similar to when Vince McMahon bought WCW and then essentially acquired ECW as well. They didn't want to continue WCW on another net. They were like, whatever about that. They just wanted that extensive catalog that they could use for their network. And same thing with ECW. They had a little bit of a feud for a little while, you know, the invasion storyline, but essentially WCW quietly just ceased to exist. That was it. And that, you know, so that's the biggest thing right now, is like that. I see that you're mentioning Amazon, and for some reason, what up, Blurred Up Reacts? Thank you for following. And for some reason, Amazon is not a contender with that. For whatever reason, Amazon has no interest in that. In acquiring. I don't know why, but it's weird. But yeah, Amazon, you would think Amazon would love to acquire it, but for some reason they're not a contender. It's only three companies: Apple, Netflix, and Disney. Now, who would be the best to fix Warner Brothers? Probably Disney. Honestly. Like, the problem is, it's like, I don't know if people would really want a Disney product like that. A Warner Brothers being a Disney product. And, you know, there will be a lot of extensive changes. And it's kind of sad that Warner Brothers wouldn't be able to stand on their own like that. For me, personally, I feel like Apple would probably be better. I'd be most comfortable probably with Apple. And I say that because Apple doesn't really have anything. There's Apple TV, and they don't have anything. But that'd be a very nice sort of synergy, because I think Apple would be so hungry to acquire something, and so if Apple essentially buys Warner Brothers and it becomes WB Apple or Wapple or something like that. With Cardi B on the side, Wapple. That'd be kind of cool. Like the fact that you could just pick up an iPhone or something and you have a catalog of Warner Brothers movies ready to watch like that. That sounds kind of cool to me, you know? Like that'd be very interesting, because I think Apple would be really hungry and trying to put out some quality content. So having WB's catalog like that might work out really well in their benefit. And then furthermore, the range of advertising that you could get on Apple TV after that, and integrating that sort of stuff, that sounds kind of cool to me. And Netflix, as much as I would like Netflix to be done, the problem I see that's hurting with Netflix is the fact that Netflix would generally, most importantly, be interested in only doing their streaming. So if they're making movies, very similar to Amazon, I think that's one of the other reasons Amazon's not really up there as a contender, is like they're not thinking about the movie theaters. They're thinking about purely streaming numbers like that. So if you thought HBO Max doing same day releases were bad for the business, it would be terrible for Netflix. At least with Apple TV, there'd probably be some sort of room to maneuver. It's like, you know, we're going to still keep the theatrical style. But again, and that's why it comes back to eventuality of, for things to be perfectly balanced or to be run correctly, Disney is that company. You might love it or hate it, but Disney is that company. Disney has proven time after time that they can take products and it can become huge. You know, Avengers wasn't really the Avengers until Disney really took over and made Avengers a household name everywhere. That's the fact of the matter, is like, you know, as much as I love Phase 1, that recognition worldwide of Avengers didn't happen until Disney got a hold of that product. And, you know, you see Japanese girls everywhere walking around with Marvel t-shirts and Spider-Man stuff everywhere. Like, it's crazy how much all of that changed when Disney got a hold of that. And I guarantee you, if Disney wasn't running Marvel would not be at that same level that it is right now, at least internationally. In fact, in about 2 days, I think they're opening up Avengers Campus in Disneyland right now, and that's the talk of the town right now. If I was in California right now, I'd be able to get in there, but thanks, Corona. Anyways, so that's my explanation, guys. That's what's going on. That's why people are thinking that Mickey Mouse is just going to come in there like Thanos and be like, "Ha ha, you're mine, bitches! Perfectly balanced." I'm not going to save it. I'm going to destroy it. I'm just saying. It's very possible. But my biggest fear is that they would just absorb it for the pure sake of having the catalog, but have no interest in really producing anything more through Warner Brothers. Or possibly most of Warner Brothers catalog moves to Apple, and then DC, the DC brand, the IP of DC Studios or whatever, gets moved to Marvel. That's always a possibility as well. When things are up for sale, anything is possible, y'all. Just like Fox. Parts of Fox got split up between Disney and another company bought Fox News and things like that. So anyways, there's the explanation of what's going on. That's why it is a very possible reality that Disney can buy DC Comics. In DC in general, and Warner Brothers. There's your information. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys want to see this happen? I mean, we talked about it earlier, and a lot of people are just like, the way Warner Brothers is being run right now, they might as well just end it and somebody else absorb it. Disney could do a better job of it without complications, though. For reals, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. You guys let me know. Let me know what you guys think, and talk to you on the next one.